use my catchphrase for this stream, since I've been using a lot of stream methods instead of doing regular videos. I think the streams seem to be a little more potent and relevant now as far as my channel goes, because it has boosted the subscribership and the viewership. But I wanted to relay some facts that's going on in California. And of course, it just goes to show you people going to always be who they are. They're always going to have this perception and finger point, and particularly towards my people. But I'm here to set the record straight on what's going on in California. In Vogue made a song from their, iconic first album, Born to Sing. It was called Lies, produced by Foster and Mac Elroy. And what's going on is it's been a lot of lies and a misconception of who's actually committing these crimes in particular California. In case you guys don't know, California is literally on its way to becoming a purge state. A actual purge, I think, is on the way, and it's gonna be sooner than later. Out here in California, and people are now making a mockery out of it. It's getting to the point to where businesses are moving out of California because basically you're allowed to pretty much do whatever you want. And my city, my hometown of Oakland, California, is really should be declared state of emergency. I know they talking about Chicago and other places, but I'm talking about the crime wave in Oakland is just out of control. But what the media isn't telling you, they're trying to hang this on a certain group of people. But I'm here to basically dispute and debunk the facts that these crimes that are getting committed in Oakland, the armed robberies, the carjackings, basically the looting, are not being committed by primarily blacks, but instead other groups of races, Hispanic, Asian, and other. But of course, they're trying to hang this on black people. Just when you were looking at the segments, of course, people were saying Black Lives Matter. Well, here's the thing, though. It's not black people doing this. And that's for all you racists and you cornballs, because I'm not going to allow my people to be stereotyped anymore and demonized, because we're going to start telling the truth and pointing out who's really doing this. The In-N-Out Burger on Hagenberger Road closed because people were being carjacked, they were being harassed, their cars were being broken into, and that In-N-Out Burger was profitable. The people that were breaking into cars were non-blacks. So people need to get their facts straight before they just watch a segment and then start blaming it on black people. It just goes to show you your racist mentality and your stereotypical mentality that you have towards blacks. But you need to start looking at your own people. The hell with black on black crime. What about Mexican on Mexican crime, Latino on Latino crime, Asian on Asian crime? Maybe y'all need to start focusing on y'all community instead of finger pointing at black people. Because I'm here to set the record straight. Anybody that's in Oakland know that it's not black people that's primarily committing the crime. Yeah, dips and dabs. Now, let's talk about what's been going on with the sideshow. Now, there was a gas station, a 76 station. It's independently owned. And basically it got looted by some people. They just broke in the store. And of course, they were having sideshows. And the police did not come for like 9 hours. You're pretty much sitting ducks. Something happens and the police don't show up for 9 hours. But then at the same time, this is the same place that's telling you that you're not allowed to have weapons to protect yourself. But at the same time, they didn't pass law after law that protects criminals in California. And this is why people wonder why people are moving out of California. And I've been trying to tell you that California is just as racist as these other states that you would be deemed to be considered a racist state, like some parts of Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, those type of places. Well, California ain't too far off. I keep trying to tell you There are certain places in California, if you go to, you God help you. But the thing is, we are under siege and we're not allowed to defend ourselves. I think, and then not to mention in Oakland, we got a crooked mayor. Bro, why are you worried about whether my screen is dark or not, bro? Let me get rid of you, dude. Let me get rid of you since you're trying to be funny. Your ass is gone. Doop, doop, doop. These people, typical. Somebody worried about the wrong thing. Dude worried about the wrong thing. But I just needed to set the record straight. Do not believe what the media is presenting to you. We already know how the media like to put a spin, but you notice the media is not talking about who's committing these crimes because they know that primarily it's not black people. Now, if it was blacks that was responsible for they'll have the names, they'll have names, possible suspects. But once again, they want to hang everything on black people. Oakland is not a black city anymore. Oakland is between 20 to 22% black, 25% Hispanic, 15% Asian. They say look like they're seeing, and I think they say it currently right now, 27% possibly white. So basically they're saying it's more white people in Oakland than it is black. So here's the thing. It's media manipulation. They want you to believe that it's black people committing these crimes, but it's not. These people that's coming, participating in these sideshows, these people are coming not, and a lot of them are not even from Oakland. They're from the other side of the bay. They from East Palo Alto. They from Palo Alto. They from San Mateo. They from San Jose. They from different parts of the Bay Area, and they're not black. But they're coming to Oakland, making it seem like it's black people participating in this activity, because Oakland at one time was considered a black city, which it isn't. Oakland hasn't been a primarily black city, I think within the last 30 years, pre-earthquake, 89 earthquake, post 89 earthquake. After the earthquake happened, when a big portion of West Oakland was destroyed or messed up, they basically started to gentrify that area. They were making black people move out, because West Oakland primarily used to be the black area of Oakland. It was primarily, I say between the late 70s to like 1990, West Oakland might have been probably primarily 85 to 90% black. Now, East Oakland and Deep East Oakland was spread out. It was what you would call diverse. You had white people in this area. It was sort of like LA. You would have what you would call a crime infested area. Then you would have what you call a well-off area, a okay area. But then post earthquake, they started to gradually gentrify areas of Oakland, and they started with West Oakland. The Acorn Housing Project, they started to move all those black people out of there. They were giving them free. Here's the thing. They were offering them free Section 8, and they were paying their deposits for them to move elsewhere. And what happened was a lot of the black families, they started to relocate to places like Stockton, Pittsburgh, Antioch, those type of places. Okay. Because if you come to places like Antioch, Pittsburgh, it looked like a mini Oakland. You go to Stockton, same thing with Stockton. So for them to be perpetrating this fraud like it's primarily, so for them to be perpetrating a fraud, like trying to make it look like the people that's responsible for committing these crimes is primarily black, it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. And it need to be said. These people that's doing these snatch and grabs, yeah. Is there some black people participating in it? Yeah, of course. I didn't say we was scot-free, but just to single-handedly try to point it out at black people, now I'm not going to slide. I'm not going to let it slide. I'm not giving it a pass. If you go to Oakland right now, if you go to in between West Oakland, going into North Oakland, and particularly the Broadway area, Broadway, Adeline, what's the other street? Market Street. If you start to go in those areas, Telegraph, you will see primarily Caucasian people or non-blacks. And it was did intentionally. 20 years ago, 20, I'll say like 25, 30 years ago, you couldn't pay a white person to hang around or walk around West Oakland. But now it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just hunky dory out there. Real talk. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to tell you, it's a lie. It's a facade. Do not believe it's black people that's participating in sideshow. When we used to do the sideshow, you wasn't seeing people crashing into poles and stuff, and you didn't see people like running people over. These people don't even know how to spin donuts correctly. When we would do the sideshow, we would actually have fun. And most of the people that was participating in the sideshow, they knew how to drive. These dudes now hanging out the window, getting through out the window, knocking people down and all this kind of stuff. If you actually, I could prove it to you right now. If I could go to Oakland right now and film the sideshow, I guarantee you will hardly see any blacks out there. You'll be seeing people like, I know this dude ain't from Oakland. I know this person ain't from Oakland. It's not black people that's doing this stuff. It's everybody but black people. But the news will have you believing that black people is participating in this, and it isn't. And I'm tired of them lying on us. Somebody got to come forward. Guess it's going to be me. I guess it got to be me. I guess it got to be me. Because I see nobody wants to tell the truth no more. And I'm not going to let this slide. I'm not going to let the media keep demonizing and trying to hang this on black people. I'm not going to let these racist ass white supremacists keep saying, oh, Black Lives Matter. This ain't black people. And as far as other lives matter, to be honest with you, I really don't give a fuck about your life. Because you don't give a damn about my people's life. So why should we care about your life? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let y'all keep hanging this on black people, good black people. Oakland ain't even no black city no more. So why is the news perpetrating like this is black people? So why are people in the comment section trying to insinuate this is black people when it isn't? I'm not going to let y'all just keep getting away with this stuff. No way. This is what I'm saying about black people. We live rent-free in everybody's head. Good or bad. We live, everybody always seem to be worried about what we do. But yet they pretend like we don't contribute or did nothing to better the world. When most of the inventions that made this planet modern or more up to date, if wasn't invented by a black, got inspired by a black, one way or another. But, they don't want to tell the truth. They want to make it look like we just don't do nothing. They make it look like we just showed up or we just stand by and watch. But this is black people too, for not taking a stand. I'm not finna sit up there and kiki with people that don't look like me. Yeah, those damn black people, they need to stop stealing. Nah, you damn white people, you damn Hispanics, you damn Asians, you damn non-blacks, y'all need to stop breaking the law. And then, like I said before, we're in a situation where we're not allowed to protect ourselves. We're demonized if we go buy weapons to protect ourselves. Every type of weapon you can think of is damn near banned out here. Can't keep a weapon in your car. You can't have brass knuckles. You can't have this. You can't have that. But then they got laws that put in place where, hey, as long as you don't steal $1,000 worth of shit, you're not going to be charged with a felony. Hey, no chase policy. Hey, if you catch them, if you catch them within the store, then it's all good. Hey, once they get outside the door, hey, it's hey, fine. Hey, long as the police don't show up until 9 hours later. The man called the police at the store that got robbed, and I know that store. It's a 76 station. It's on Hagenberger Road. That whole area, Hagenberger Road, damn near looked like a wasteland. It looked like certain parts of Detroit just abandoned. And that was one of the most, I mean, in the early 2000s, that area was flourishing. Now all of a sudden, it's damn near like a whole abandoned part of Oakland. Businesses then moved out because one, they don't have the insurance. The insurance rates is high, and then they're damn near all but guaranteed to have their store robbed. But then here they go trying to put this on black people. So where everybody at? So and you notice ain't nobody came on here trying to challenge what I'm saying because they know I'm telling the truth. I told you what happened to me a couple of days ago when I was at Home Depot. I'm sitting up there, standing in front of the store, minding my own business, and then the security walked up, who don't have nothing to do with any type of customer service, gonna ask me, do I need some help? The black dude. First of all, Home Depot don't have anything that I want to take, and I pretty much can afford anything in that store if I wanted to buy it. I don't ever go to Home Depot. I was there with somebody else. And I was mad because I know that she only came to me. And I called her, you know what I'm saying? I called her a bitch before I left out of there. And I said something to the people at customer service. Because I started to cause a scene. I really did. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Now, while she's sitting up there racially profiling me, well, basically some people that don't look like me could have ran up in there and took supplies, took paint and took hammers, nails, whatever, drills, whatever they needed, and ran out of there while she's sitting up there worried about, listen, just because I'm standing in the front don't mean I'm casing the joint. And then they got cameras everywhere. My face is out in the open. There's no mask mandate. So to be honest with you, they would have found me within hours. All they would have did, if I would have did anything, they would have showed a picture of my full-blown face, and then it would have went into a police computer. They would have looked at my face, and then they would have instantly seen, was there any fingerprints? They would have found me within minutes. Okay, so let's keep it 100. Well, that's what I'm trying to say, man. I love my city, but I don't hang out in Oakland no more. The only time I go to Oakland, man, is when I'm going to the airport. Because you never know. Everybody keep talking about, listen, and this is just real talk. You go to Oakland now, your life is in serious danger. But guess what? You ain't allowed to protect yourself. This ain't Texas. This ain't Georgia. This ain't Kentucky. This ain't Wisconsin where you allowed to have a weapon on you. You pretty much out there. How is it that if you try to legally buy a firearm, you're not allowed to protect yourself? You could go to jail for actually trying to protect yourself. How does that work? Where you're criminalized for actually trying to protect yourself. And this is what I mean about California. This is what I mean about Democrats. Keep in mind, the Democrats worked alongside the Republicans to make California a non-open carry state. Remember that. But you niggas been sitting up here being fooled and being misled to vote Democrat when the Democrats have been proven not to give a flying rat's ass about black people. But then you constantly had these people sitting up here for some reason voting Democrat for a party that has not done nothing for black people, that will do any and everything for every other ethnic group except black people. But then every 4 years they come around here asking us to vote and don't want to promise us nothing. And then we just say, hey, well, minorities need something. Then they say, well, if you look at the statistics, we passed these laws for minorities. And then you look at the minority, it ain't black. Just because you are a minority don't mean you qualify and need the same tangibles as us. We need to be separated, and we need to distance ourselves from everybody. I keep trying to tell y'all that it is no black and brown alliance. There's no black and Asian alliance. There's no black and Native American or Indian alliance. Everybody joined forces to go against us. All those ethnic groups that we always reaching the white hamburger helper hand out is anti anything that benefits blacks. The first thing when you say, hey, I'm gonna do this for blacks, I'm gonna look into doing this for black, the first thing that come out their mouth, oh, what about us? But y'all constantly sitting up begging these people to like y'all. Something is seriously wrong with black people, where we have this thing that we need to be friends with everybody. We need to be allies. They ain't our allies. Since when do you hear Indian people eat any type of Indian? From Native American Indians to the other Indians saying, hey, black people are our allies. No, that's only black people talking like that. And that's why I stopped listening to these niggas and stop paying attention to these dudes. Because at the end of the day, it's just cooning. And it is basically begging people to accept you. Where did we come to the point to where we feel like we need to have everybody liking us? Where did it come to the point to where we need to prove ourselves to other people that don't look like us? Where did that come from? Well, I could tell you a big portion of this came from, the good book, which I'm not down in the good book, but a lot of people take bits and pieces out the Bible because religion to a certain degree has hurt black people. Just like I was listening to that foolishness Keyshawn Davis was talking about in regards to Ryan Garcia. You sitting up saying you forgive Ryan Garcia, but then you got all this vitriol for Devin Haney, another black man. Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you something else. This is real talk. Sacramento eventually may get baseball too, because they are going to add a couple of more teams. And Sacramento already said if they add two more teams to Major League Baseball, Sacramento already said that they're gonna put in a bid. They're gonna add a couple of more NFL teams. They're gonna add a couple of more basketball teams. You already know they're adding two more basketball teams to the NBA within the next few years. So it is what it is. This stuff was did on purpose to get all the sports teams out of Oakland. It was did intentionally. It was a 25-year master plan to get all the teams out of Oakland. It was did intentionally. So, but anyway, with that being said, all this, you got to think about this. This is a connection. All this is a connection. This is a connection here. If you want to say a conspiracy, well, go right ahead. Because I do believe it was a conspiracy. I said that it was a plan like about 5 years ago, or maybe longer than that. That I said it was a conspiracy to get all the teams out of Oakland. I said, what did I tell you? I said in all likelihood, by 2026, there won't be no professional teams in Oakland. The Oakland A's were lying to the fans and to the public all along. Keep in mind, the A's tried to leave first. They tried to move. If it wasn't for territorial rights, the A's would be playing in San Jose right now as we speak. The A's tried to leave first. No matter how Mark Davis tries to pretend that they wanted to stay in Oakland, according to reports, according to my research, that Mark Davis applied for a trademark Las Vegas Raiders back in the late 1990s. And they had his residency of Alamo, California. And Mark Davis, from what I was told, did live in Alamo, California. Don't you remember Romeo Must Die? Don't you remember Romeo Must Die back in 19, what was it? When was that movie made? 1998, 1999. Wasn't it predicted that the Raiders was going to leave Oakland again? Wasn't that movie about basically trying to put another sports franchise in Oakland? Which, by the way, by the way, that seems to be a reality too, because they trying to get these a couple of black billionaires to put a sports team in Oakland. Keep in mind, Romeo Must Die predicted back in the late 1990s that the Raiders would leave Oakland again. And what happened? They left Oakland again. Leonard Polinacci, back in the early 2000s, he tried to buy the Oakland A's when they were for sale. He was a billionaire. At the time, he was worth $18 billion. They refused to let him buy the Oakland A's. He said he was the dude that owned the Save Mart stores that bought all the Luckies. He tried to buy the Oakland A's. They wouldn't let him buy the Oakland A's. They asked him about the issues with the stadium when they turned the Oakland Coliseum into that monstrosity that it is now. He said, hey, if worse comes to worse, he said, I'll get them a stadium if I have to pay for it out of my own money. Reggie Jackson said the same thing. His group tried to buy the A's. He said they would have kept them in Oakland. He said we would have found a way to get the A's a new stadium. Wouldn't let Reggie Jackson's group buy the A's. Then all of a sudden, this Fisher dude, like I said, that Las Vegas deal was cooking for a while. Keep in mind, it was reported back in 2022 that the A's organization tried to sneak and buy the current land where they're going to build the new stadium over there by the Tropicana and right behind the OYO. And that got out, where he was sitting up saying, we're committed to staying in Oakland. And when that got out, I was like, okay, yeah, they're leaving. So, all this is connected. Yeah, thank you, BS Filter. That story was put out about Mark Davis. He allegedly applied for a trademark for the Las Vegas Raiders back in the 90s. Why you think Al Davis refused to do the joint stadium venture with the 49ers? And here's the thing. Santa Clara is a lot closer to Oakland than it is San Francisco. As I keep saying, that Levi Stadium is nowhere near San Francisco. It's not even in San Francisco County. That stadium is like 40 minutes away from San Francisco. Quiet as kept. Levi Stadium is literally 5 minutes outside of San Jose. When I say it's literally 5 minutes outside the early parts of San Jose, that stadium is more closer to San Jose than it is San Francisco. It's in Santa Clara County. Well, guess what county San Jose is in? Santa Clara County. I'm from here, born and raised here. Stadium ain't nowhere near San Francisco. So that's what I'm saying. All this stuff is connected. There is some kind of connection with all this stuff that was going on. And then the current mayor of Oakland, I forgot what that lady's name is. You could just tell she didn't put up no fight. And at the end of the day, as far as the A's going, they were leaving anyway. Once it got leaked that they were trying to purchase the land where the Tropicana is, which they tried to do that in 2022, that showed me that they were lying, that they hadn't. And then, like I said, the area where they wanted to put the new stadium over there in West Oakland, because that's pretty much West Oakland. Why would you want to put a stadium over there? when the Coliseum, you could have easily just built the stadium on the opposite side of the Coliseum, and you could have turned that area into like what you would call an entertainment center. It was cap. It was all lies from the gate. They told you this back in 19 they told you this back in the late 1990s. Romeo Must Die told you that. And when I saw that movie, I went, And then all of a sudden, when you started to get in and then you started to hear about the issues with the A's, the Raiders, and the stadium issues. They offered the Raiders a stadium deal. They offered to build the Raiders at what they asked for. Mark Davis said he wanted a cozy stadium. They offered to build the Raiders a 60,000 seat on the dot stadium. They didn't take the deal. They took the Las Vegas deal. Y'all been getting lied to. First of all, where the Dallas Cowboys play at in Arlington, Texas, if you ever been to that stadium, they have like entertainment centers, they have restaurants. This was all listen, this was all in the making. It was cap. It was cap. It was cap. The A's had no intentions on staying in Oakland because, like I said, they tried to leave first. The Golden State Warriors. There was always this thing with the Golden State Warriors when they moved to Oakland that they had some deal that they couldn't change the name to the Oakland Warriors. Just like now, quiet is kept. You know why the Warriors can't change their name to the San Francisco Warriors? Because the NBA gave the Golden State Warriors X amount of territory. The Golden State Warriors have like a huge amount of territory from the Bay Area. And part of the deal is if they ever change their name, that they would lose a big portion of their territorial rights. So that's why they didn't change the name to the San Francisco Warriors. But at the same time, they have it to where even if an owner came out the gate and said, hey, I want to put a franchise in Oakland, they would have to go through a whole shitload of court proceedings to be able, and then they would have to probably pay the Golden State Warriors to be able to put a franchise, which to me, that's not fair. And they might do it. And they might do it when the Oakland A's officially move to Las Vegas. The Oakland A's own the property where the Coliseum sits. And I found it strange that they had an entertainment group that wanted to buy areas of the Coliseum and they didn't want to sell it to them. So you could run into the same problem with the Oakland A's, to where they just, or the Giants put in a request to where they get the whole territorial rights of the Bay Area. Listen, y'all, the conspiracy shit is real. I've been knowing, see, I'll be on point. Just because I talk about sports don't mean that I'm not up on shit. See, this is the other side of me that you know what I'm saying? This is the other side of me that I had to let out of the cage, my more intellect side, my more political side. I'm born, bred, raised in Oakland. I know everything about my city. Everything. Like I said, I predicted all this shit would happen years ago. I predicted it and it came to fruition. And I predicted exactly how it was going to go down. The city and the citizens of Oakland been lied to. They've been getting lied to. There was a plan 25 plus years ago to get all these teams out of Oakland. Yeah, so and here's the thing. They're just going to be called the Athletics. They're not even going to be called temporarily the Sacramento Athletics. Yeah, it's a tryout. It's a tryout. All this stuff been did on purpose, you guys. All this stuff. Remember where it came from. But anyway, you guys, I got to get out of here. I'll be back with more later, but don't believe the BS that they be talking about pertaining to Oakland. The people that are committing these crimes are non-blacks. Real talk.